Happy Sunday. Thought I would take time to share my acquired books that I have. What does one do when they're in a funk, in a slump? Not necessarily a reading slump, just a slump. Because 2021, in some respects, is 2020's really ugly stepsister. Like, she's been really tough mentally. Part of it is I started a new position at work, and it's different and the same all at once, but it's a lot of, I feel really stupid. I mean, there's no possible way that you can be proficient like 100% in a new position within 2 months. Like, it's just not. Like, people make mistakes. I still make mistakes. I get down on myself for making mistakes. Like, you should know better, or how dare you, or that was careless. Everybody's guilty of that. So I'm going to try to go into next week with a fresh mentality. You can do this. Don't feel like you have to quit, like have a quitter mentality just because you're stressed and still trying to figure it out. So I'm going to try to use the rest of today to maybe read, make some chicken wings. I made some caramel apple cheesecake bars earlier. They're chilling in the refrigerator. Kind of sort of snuck and cut the corner off of one, and it's delicious. I'm going to take some over when I can cut them better. Take them across the street to my mother-in-law because she's been feeling sickly. She got her second vaccination and it knocked her on her you-know-what. So I made her some cheesecake bars, and I'm going to make some air fryer chicken wings. But I have library books. I have Ollie's books because last week I was like, let's go to Ollie's. I want to look at books because I haven't in forever. Some that came in the mail. And today we went to the used bookstore. I said to my husband, let's go to the used bookstore. And Sonic. Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. Because the Sonic is next to the used bookstore. There's no going to the used bookstore and not having Sonic. So, Diet Cherry Limeade. And there better be cherries in the bottom. I will show you my library books first. And not be long-winded. Because I'm making this again. Because I got to like 14 minutes and I was only halfway through my library books. So, quickly. We'll go quickly. We have Blitzed Drugs in the Third Reich. It's pretty much as the title states. Norman Ohler, by the way. The history of the rise of methamphetamine and amphetamines. And basically the mass amount that was being exported from Germany in and around World War II. And how it's bled into modern times and the overabundance of overprescribing of amphetamines. The job that I have, the stories I could tell you, but I won't. And then Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree, if I'm saying that correctly, which I realized this is a face. I'm not very observant most times. This one I probably will start after I finish the book I'm reading today. I'll tell you that later. Apparently I didn't realize it was YA, but a young girl who was excited about getting a government scholarship to further her education, and then she gets kidnapped by Boko Haram with a friend, and their struggles. I'm going to go ahead and assume that she escapes and fights for her future and continuing her education. And then The Yellow Wife by Sadiqa Johnson, if I'm saying her correctly. I've seen this a couple of places. It has a much better cover than the large print library cover. It has a beautiful woman in a yellow dress. This is basically a woman who is, when she turns 18, she's supposed to be released, set free from her plantation that she's living on, but things don't quite happen that way, and she's thrust into Devil's Half Acre in jail, and she's having to watch other people who are being tortured. I'm not entirely sure if she is the recipient of. I would hope not. But this is also available on Scribd audio. So if you wanted to try it, I'm not sure about the like the ebook, but I do know they have audio. Waiting for Snow in Havana by Carlos, is it Eire? E-I-R-E? I saw this on Doris's channel, Aldi Books. So during the Cuban Revolution, being sent to America. I'm kind of trying to not explore, navigate a different life. So this one may be good. And then Nomadland by Jessica Bruder. There's a movie out right now about this. People who travel the U.S. in their RVs and campers and live nomadic rather than being settled in one place. And then Frontier Follies by Reed Drummond, Pioneer Woman. I read her first one. Pulled it up and I forgot. Black Heels to Tractor Wheels. It was her early life meeting her husband and their first years of marriage and children. So this is the further adventures, which was it last week or so? Her husband and a nephew had a head-on collision on the ranch in fire trucks because they were trying to put out fire on the property, and her husband broke his neck. It was crazy. Scary. And then this one, don't know. I don't know. The writing style is definitely one. I read the first couple of pages that you're going to have to sit and concentrate since it is translated from the Russian. It's not dense. It's just you can tell it's not native, the native tongue. I say native tongue. It's not native. It's not quite a crisp translation. But The Eighth Life, I'm not going to try to pronounce Nino's last name. But someone said it's a family saga. Described it briefly as a Georgian family saga. I don't really know what they said it was really and truly reminiscent of, but it's probably one of those that it's been compared to something else that it really isn't. But it's a beast. It's like almost 1,000 pages and it's tiny print, like tiny. So push comes to shove, I may have to end up ordering a copy of it or just breaking down and getting an ebook copy of it since it would be much, much easier to hold. And then these two I got in the mail, so I just got a new copy of Roots by Alex Haley. I have carried around, it came with me in the move, the older 70s edition copy that just says Roots on it with the 70s yellow and brown and cream colored cover. But I was just like, I need another copy. Seeing how I don't really know where the other one is. So this one, I don't think I paid more than $6, and it's a really good copy. It came from Book Depository, actually. Not Book Depository, Book Outlet via Amazon. And then this one, funny story. I saw this on someone else's channel. She found it in a vintage bookstore. And the way she described it, I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good. And Reap the Wild Wind, Thelma Strable. I don't know that I knew that there was a movie. This book was turned into a movie. It's surprisingly decent condition for it being published in 1942, still having the dust jacket. But I thought it was adorable. I've read 23 pages of it. To Dorothy from Dad with Love, December 25th, 1943. Somebody gave it to their daughter for Christmas. Aww. During the war. It's a little bit, if you can tell, coming apart, but I will treat it nicely. But it came in the mail in an Alpo box. The seller from Abe Books put it in a plastic grocery bag in an Alpo box, duct taped the Alpo box, and put a shipping label on it. So my husband brought it and I was like, did you order Alpo? I was like, what? We don't even have a dog. That was probably one of the most creatively done packages. And then these are the ones that I got from Ollie's. So we have Among the Living by Jonathan Rabb. I will get the stickers off at a later time. A Holocaust survivor who moves basically to Charleston, South Carolina after World War II, and his experience with American life being a conservative Jewish man and also being in the Jim Crow South. So it's a mixture, and I think it will be a good book. Yellowbird Sings, Jennifer Rosner. I was super shocked to find this at Ollie's for $3.99 because I thought it was relatively new. I could be wrong, but I have seen it suggested on Scribd and from Overdrive. 2020, so this came out last year. And it is also a World War II novel. All the Beautiful Girls by Elizabeth Church. And this one, Lily Decker never meant to become a showgirl. As a young girl in small town Kansas, she danced to forget the pain of losing her family in a tragic car accident. So that's a brief description. The Stolen Marriage by Diane Chamberlain. There are so many Diane Chamberlain books. I don't want to say they're all the same feel to them. There's always something dramatic. One Mistake, One Fateful Night, and Tess DeMello's life is changed forever. And then The Search for Maggie Ward by Andrew Greeley, which I looked at this, I was like, he's still writing books? Are you sure? Because I remember my mom had one years ago, and it's just a reprint. Just in a newer cover. And this one is young Navy flyer Jerry Keenan is supposed to be on his way home to Chicago Law School and a post-war life that is socially acceptable to well-off Irish Catholic family. Instead, he is in Arizona delaying that homecoming while he wrestles with his memories of combat and the men he saw die. That may be one reason an encounter with a girl at a Tucson lunch counter seems so appealing. Another reason is that she is mysterious, hauntingly beautiful, and the perfect antidote for a troubled heart. Just when he realizes how much he needs her, she dramatically vanishes or is taken from him, and in search of his destiny and his soul must be willing to move heaven and earth to find the woman he loves. I never read Andrew Greeley, but for $4, I'll try it. And then these are all of my used bookstore books today. I went a little ham, and I don't care. And they're a really variously random hodgepodge of books, which is the beauty of my reading habits, because I don't like to just be a person that reads all nonfiction or all mystery thrillers or all young adult. That's boring. I don't see how people do that. I can't. I'm not that person. But we have The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I have the ebook copy, but my mother has started to get into her. And I picked this up for her. And it's a cute UK copy. So I will give this to her. I don't feel like I need to explain anything about The Nightingale because it's been around for so long. And then this little cute crumb cake. They had another one that was an older edition for $1. This one was $2. And I feel like I made a really good choice in this one instead. But it's Casino Royale by Ian Fleming. And it's marvelous. Just that old pan, number 232. So one day I'll read that when I have. One time my husband picked this one up and he just put it on my stack. He's like, this sounds good. So Cat Under Fire by Shirley Rousseau Murphy. I feel like there are a bunch of these. But the woman that owns this bookstore is like, her bread and butter is cozy mysteries. So she's got almost like a whole row of cozy mysteries. Anything that you could want. So cozy mystery. Cat. Again, I need to pick off these stickers. This one, America and Americans, John Steinbeck. This little cute crumb cake was $2, and it's one of essays with pictures. So this one won't take long at all to sit down and read in an afternoon. Oh, Tim Dorsey, Naked Came the Florida Man. So I needed this one. I think I only have 2 more that I have to complete what's up to date, which I really need to this summer read those books. And then I have 2 by Eugenia Price. I've never read Eugenia Price. I feel like I have a couple of hers downstairs from the tent sales. But we have New Moon Rising. Historical drama. Blah, blah, blah. Of course, it says it has a blurb of not since Gone with the Wind. ... You're not Gone with the Wind. You're not. And then Maria, Eugenia Price. I believe that this one is more of a American Revolution. And they don't have any, like this is just blah blah. Eugenia Price is so that is magnificent. This one is just kind of a giggle because I love this comic. The Croc Ate My Homework by Stephen. I never know how to say his name. Patsis. So the Pearls Before Swine comic, if anybody is familiar with it, again, I can sit down and just brainlessly read this one in like an hour. Then we have Winch by Dolan Perkins Valdez. It has a step back, but it's nothing. And it is Ohio Free Territory. Tower House is an idyllic retreat for Southern white men who vacation every summer with their mistresses. It's their open secret. So I'm curious. They had another one for $6, and I saw, like, look to the left, and there's one for $3, so I got the $3. So there's that one. Recipe for a Perfect Wife. This one was, like, one of my last, like, pickup $5 splurges. And I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, it's so damaged. Well, it's supposed to look like that because she rents this old house. It's like totally still decked out in 1950s decor. I mean, it's like it was left from 50 in immaculate condition. And then she is learning about the previous owner, the wife, and finds like all of her recipes, and she's piecing together a story about her based on these recipes. So it sounds amusing. And it had this free little, if anybody knows Dissent, DISSENT PINS.com. Dissent pens. Use the code THANKYOU15 and get 15% off of your next order. I don't know if that's still a thing, but apparently these organizations are doing critical work every day, and we're proud of them. Bronx Freedom Fund, Center for Reproductive Rights, Internal Refugee Assistance Project, Planned Parenthood. So I would just have to look. I'm not sure what this is, unless they like are a thrift store, like bookstore that does charity. And the last 2, I've had this on my to-read list forever and just haven't. And I was just thinking, hey, if I'm going to read it, I might as well get a jazzy edition. But it's Tobacco Road by Erskine Caldwell. I've been loving these kind of books. I'm not sure when it was printed. We're going to find out. Maybe. So this edition was 1959. So, I mean, it's dang good condition. So, we got that. And then my last one at the almost 20-minute mark. This one was for all of you who love romance novels with step backs. This caught my eye because it was next to The Nightingale, and you'll understand why. I don't know that this is maybe her second novel that she ever wrote. Third. I'm thinking second. The Enchantment by Kristen Hanna. If you can see the foil stamp, and it has a smutty tab. So apparently Kristen Hanna, I'm not aware because I'm relatively new to Kristen Hanna, wrote some historical romance novels. Emmeline Hatter was a beautiful, brilliant, and rich Wall Street financier in the 19th century until the crash of 1893 wiped her out completely. Without friends, family, or money, she decided to take a wild risk and join Dr. Lawrence Digby in his search for the treasure-filled lost city of Cibola. Once they found the legendary place of gold, Emmeline planned to use her share of the riches as a stake to start her new life. She was used to getting her own way with everyone, but Lawrence had ideas of his own. Chasing impossible dreams of glorious discovery, Lawrence was pursued by a haunting secret that he shared with no one, and she was contemptuous of Lawrence's ideals and impractical fantasies, despising the man and the weakness he showed her in herself. Somehow, in a world of enchantment, each would have to learn to believe, to trust the other with their lives, their secrets, and their hearts. I mean, the cover is just brilliant. But did anybody know that Kristen Hanna had written some historical romance with smutty tabs? So that's it. That's all of my books. I'm reading the most recent Joanne Fluke. Was it Raspberry? I don't remember. Triple Chocolate Cheesecake Murder. So, I'm hoping to read that today. It's the only one I am reading. And then pick another. I'm going to try to be better about reading singularly, one book at a time. Because even though I can read multiples, it seems like it drags things on. And then just focusing on one at a time would be better for my brain. But that's it. If you've read any of these, let me know. Especially which ones to get to sooner first. I need to work on, obviously, the library books first. But I've been guilty of just taking them back unread and either checking them out again or just buying my own copies. That defeats the whole purpose of using a library, doesn't it? But I have a lot more options, as if I didn't have enough options to read. But I'm probably gonna have a summer of backlist books. Like, I'm feeling it. Like these old, like beat up, I don't necessarily say beat up, but I'm feeling like all sorts of ways about old backlist books. I feel like they're speaking to me right now. But anyway, that's it. I don't expect anybody to still be watching at like almost 24 minutes. If you are, leave me a cat emoji or a bread emoji, like anything. But I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully I'll have a Friday Reads that's more up to date next week and start working on some of these tag videos I keep seeing going around. Barb from The Font put a fun one out this morning. So if you haven't seen her channel, look up The Font. She and Isabella are a hoot. But that's it. That's all for today. I hope you had a good weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.